Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Thrivecast, the January 2025 episode as we head into this new year, 2025. So this is a quick special podcast. This will just be a solo show with me. Sometimes I like to do a solo show and no guest just to tell you some important things that are going on. And really, I wanted to just give the message that 2025 feels new and fresh to me, and I hope it does to you. So the pandemic has been so disruptive, and then the economic issues that we've had, and then what I call the political clown show in the U.S. the rest of the world has watched happen. A lot of that has happened now, and 2025 is something now we can walk into, and I feel we can walk into it fresh. It's a brand new. It's an opportunity to start again. It's not the spring, right? It's the winter here, but it feels like spring as we go into a new thing. So maybe if you'll indulge me a little bit as we walk into 2025, walk into it with hopefully a new hope and some new ideas about what you can do in your business. We're going to talk about in this show recommitting yourself to new paths. I think it's time to do that in our services industry and the ways that we offer high value and care for our clients. So hopefully you'll come with me in that. Now, a couple of things I want to share in this show. A lot of you may or may not know that I have another podcast. So the Thrivecast is one of the podcasts I lead, really for almost 14 years with the Thrivecast we've been leading. But I have another show called the Businessology Show that I started in January 2013. And that show, of course, was over 12 years. And it's funny, but I'm in the studio here recording our podcasts, and I just recorded the last show ever of the Businessology Show. So I want to do this show with you to talk about new things because things are changing in our world, and it allows me to feel like things are changing in a fresh new way. So we ended the Businessology Show. We recorded the last episode. And before we do anything like that, Julie, my partner, and I will talk a lot about those kind of things. And it is weird when things end. Why do things end? A lot of times, and I mentioned this on the show, the Businessology Show, it's because sometimes things are bad or they need to end because they're not good, and so you'll end those things. And that's not the case with the Businessology Show. We ended something that was working, something that was good. And so why would you do that? Well, it's because in life you perceive there's something new for you past what you're doing now. And so when you end a good thing, it's really saying we have to redirect our efforts and value to a different thing. It's really that hope of some new thing that we need to do. And that's what we did with the Businessology Show. And so it was these podcasts, we've been podcasting for over 25 years combined now between the two shows. And we have gained the knowledge and the expertise we have gained just from the brilliant guests we've had has been mind-blowing. So with the Businessology Show ending and recording its last episode, we're moving into new places. We feel like we're moving into new places in our firm, Blumer CPAs, and we're recommitting to the agency space that we serve as our niche, and even growing as a firm to serve other broader niches as well, like nonprofits and some others that we're going to be testing as we grow. The Thrivecast is also going to represents Thriveal and Thriveal's growth, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. But we just want to let you know, this is a show that's representing a change into the future. And I want to invite you, listener, into the future with me. Thriveal is going to be offering a lot of brand new things in the upcoming years that we're very excited about. We're doubling down on our commitment to the accounting profession, And we want you to come with us. And we want you to come with us if you're serious about growing your firm, right? We want to start really focusing on firms that are growing. They are committed to growth. They are dedicated. They're doubling down, and they're really focusing in on what they know they can do for the world. So this podcast is me inviting you into that. And now with a little sadness of ending one show, the Businessology Show that we've run for so long, it comes a new refreshed energy of some future things we get to do. And we can't wait to share some of those with you as Thriveal continues to grow and help a lot of firms all around the world, which we're doing now. So before we dive into some of that, I want to share some of my favorite insights from one of my favorite books, 0 to 1, by Peter Thiel. I read this many, many years ago, but it's one of my most favorite books. It has some very specific things that I want to share about the future. So before we dive into that, I just want to say thank you to our sponsor. Bill.com has been a sponsor for so long. So let's do a quick sponsor break for them, and we'll come back, share some insights from the book, and then we'll wrap up this quick show. I'm excited to share Bill as an exclusive sponsor of the Thrivecast. They have been sponsoring the Thrivecast for so long. Thank you, Bill. Our firm has been using Bill for over a decade now. We actually use it in all of our foundational CFO and controllership engagements. We have to turn all of our clients' financial processes digital, and we do that with Bill. And you can check out some webinars and blogs and even toolkits that I build with Bill to help in your firm. So thank you, Bill, for being a sponsor of the Thrivecast. Okay, welcome back. Thank you, Bill. So as we do this show, and again, I wanted to do a solo show to say that Thriveal is also changing. We are changing. So Thriveal is growing, and we are growing, really kind of going up market to serve firms that are really ready to grow. They are wanting to be stronger entrepreneurs. They want to grow their teams. They want to grow their firms. This is kind of what Julie and I are committing ourselves to, and our team, as we become more and more of a gift to the profession, where Thriveal can help you take the programs, the courses, the classes, the conferences, the podcasts, the content, the books we write, so that you will change and take on the education that changes you. And so this is kind of a new season for Thriveal, which is really exciting for us. And Julie and I are of the age and are of the season of life where we have done this a long time, right? So I'm 30 years in my career. I'm 30 years past into my career and a few years. So I've been through a lot of the ups and downs, as Julie has too, as we've grown our firm and Thriveal alongside one another. And it's time to change those and recommit ourselves and make a strong message towards who we're going to be helping very specifically. And Thriveal is beginning to help larger and larger firms. That's kind of what we're becoming called to do. These firms are asking us to help them, to serve them. Our conferences, Deeper Weekend, and our programs, they are inviting and attracting larger firms. And it's because our firm is larger, Blumer CPAs is larger, and we're able to help these organizations grow. So this first podcast is an announcement that Thriveal is changing, and it is helping those somewhat larger growing firms. And we're really excited about what that's going to mean, and what it may mean for you, listener, as maybe you're one of those larger firms. We're an established community. 2025, at the end of 2025, Thriveal will be 15 years old. So as a community serving an accounting profession, that is super old because communities are not that old. Now, we know communities and community leaders that are in their 70s and 80s that predated us back into the 80s. So we know some of those foundational players that led the way for us to start Thriveal as a community 15 years ago. So that's amazing. So not only is our firm, and I'm in my career for a long time, Thriveal we are grown, as they say. I'm grown. Thriveal is full grown. And that means we get to make choices to serve in different ways. And that's kind of why we ended our Businessology show. That show was so amazing and we learned so much. And then we said, we're going to say no to something that's valuable so we can say yes to something that is even more valuable. And that's, you go through a lot to kind of wrestle with that decision. And really, Julie and I spent a good year and a half, 2 years wrestling with some of those transitions. And it really probably just has a lot to do with the season we're in and our age, and now what we get to choose to do, which is very beautiful and a very wonderful thing. And we want you to choose to do that with us. Thriveal is going to be a rock-solid foundation into the future that is going to provide such education, strength, encouragement, coaching, teaching, books, writing. There is going to be so much that Thriveal is going to do for the profession. We believe we are going to be a foundational part of the profession's growth as we challenge entrepreneurs that lead firms to do it from a heart of value, meaning they price in ways that represent they believe in themselves. And then when you run into trouble with your organization trying to scale it, we're going to be there to unravel those confusions and to help you grow into the future. So that's what Thriveal has been, and it's going to become more of that for larger and larger firms as we move into the future. So go with us. This is an invitation to come with us. So let me share a couple insights as we wrap up here from 0 to 1. And these, I've underlined half the book, but I'm just going to share some things from the preface, chapter 1, and then chapter 2 from Peter Thiel. So he basically says in the preface, the second paragraph, I started underlining things. It says, it's easier to copy a model than to make something new. And a lot of times entrepreneurs do that. They default towards copying, right? And if you're in our community, you hear us say all the time, stop copying people. Do not copy us. Don't copy other people in Thriveal, and stop copying the rest of the profession. Copying is not a path towards something new, but it is by default the easiest thing to do. So that struck out when he said it's easier to copy a model than to make something new. That's true. It is easier. But stop doing only the easy things is our call to you. And then he also says, Peter Thiel says, today's best practices lead to dead ends. The best paths are new and untried. And Thriveal is an established organization, and it is a place where you can get education on how to build your firm. But it's also a safe community where you can come be curious enough to try new things and fail, right? That's what entrepreneurship and growth is all about. Try a new thing and fail. But if you're on your own, trying new things and failing can be very discouraging. But when you get into a community, you find actually that's the path forward towards great value, newer things, is to fail your way forward and try new and untried paths, right? Those are the paths to walk. It is the paths we want to walk as leaders of Thriveal, and it's the path we want to invite you to walk down with us, is to new and untried paths. So this is really a call for you to believe in yourself, because whatever you're going to build is something that nobody else can build. And so if you keep copying something, you're trying to reproduce something somebody else has already done. When the world needs something brand new. And so this book really rings true. And so we're calling you to do that. And again, you can do it with an organization like Thriveal that can help you, support you, encourage you, teach you, educate you on doing that. And a community where you can be curious and fail. So there's no fear. You got it made when you come into Thriveal as a community. And if you're not a member, you really cannot run your firm by yourself anymore. You have to stop doing that. You have to come to a safe place and then blow some shit up, as I used to say 20 years ago. Blow things up. Start messing things up. And when you're in a safe place, you'll be propped up and given more education, so you will be successful. Very cool. Okay. Chapter 1, Peter Thiel then says this: brilliant thinking is rare, right? The people that are truly brilliant, like some of those people. And it's like, wow, They are so brilliant, and that is rare. But he says this, but courage is even shorter supply than genius. And that is true. So Thriveal is an organization that helps people change and grow. And when you face a community of people that are trying to change and grow, guess what you run into? Fear. They are fearful. And I get it, because Julie and I have been running a firm for over 25 years. Hello. You think we run into fear every day, just like you. That's what we run into. So when you want to change and grow and do something new, you're going to face fear. And a community will help you push through that. So what he says is true. Courage to do those things, try those untried paths. Courage is in shorter supply than genius. So stop trying to be brilliant, stop trying to be a genius, and start doing new things. That's the takeaway, right? Don't try to be brilliant. Do something new. So courage is what you need. And again, you can do that with Thriveal. We're going to be the ones that are going to help prop you up in taking that courage. Okay, and then this last thing in chapter 2 that I want to share from the book 0 to 1, and I'm going to have to explain this quote, but he says, how much of what you know about your business is shaped by mistaken reactions to past mistakes? So here's basically what he's saying. You know a lot of stuff. And if all the things you know are just poor reactions to your past mistakes, you're learning wrong things. And so it could be actually you've built your business on poor reactions to past mistakes. And that does not grow a strong firm, right? That leads you into fear, and then you start copying people. That's what happens. I'm going to read that again. How much of what you know, so he's asking you, if you were to measure how much of what you know about business is shaped by mistaken reactions to past mistakes. That's pretty dangerous if that's what you know. It's time for you to learn something new is the point. And that comes from trying new things with something that's in short supply, which is courage, right? And you gain that from other people and in a community, not in the echo chamber of you in your office, talking yourself out of things, supporting your own fear. You need to be in a community that will support you out of some of that dysfunctional thinking and behavior and self-talk, which is wrong and hurtful to you. And the last part of that quote is, the most contrarian thing you can do, right? Contrarian, the most counterintuitive thing, the thing that you would not think you should do, the most contrarian thing of all is not to oppose the crowd, but to think for yourself, right? So again, he even clarifies it. So stop copying and don't even just do the opposite of what other people are doing. Do something that no one has ever done before, right? That's the kind of firm that we're trying to build. And we can do that in our community, Thriveal. And if that's the firm you're trying to build, then we invite you into Thriveal, into Thriveal's new future. We're 15 years old. Think about what we're going to know and be able to do and support this profession when we're 30 years old. That's bonkers to think about that. So 2025 is the train. I'm asking you to get on the train with us. Get on the train and start creating new things, right? Not the fear of staying the same, not even the fear of copying, not even the fear of seeing something and doing the opposite, opposing the crowd, but actually doing something brand new and overcoming the fear and gaining courage through a community to do that thing. So welcome to 2025. We're excited about the future. You want to follow Thriveal. You want to follow the company page Thriveal on LinkedIn to learn all about that we're doing. You want to start to come into the community, see our programs and the things that are going to change you. We're going somewhere new. It's time, and we're having to let go of some things from the past, like our other podcast, so we can refocus on the things we know are valuable. And we invite you to come with us. So we're excited about the future. We're excited about 2025, and I hope you'll encourage yourself and have some hope that 2025 can be a new year to start in a new way. So welcome to the new Thriveal, and we'll see you on the other side. Take care.